Parents of Reddit, what was your oh god I've raised a monster moment? If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a like and subscribing. Not the mom, but the aunt. Sister's older girl is a saint, but the little one is a psychopath, and sister and brother-in-law indulge every crazy behavior of hers. One of the worst was last year when one of my sister's ureter broke and she had to get a tube from her kidney out of her body and to a bag. While said ureter healed, she was pretty ill and was in the hospital for a bit more than a month. Anyways, second night she's back home. Little brat pulls the tube out of my sister's kidney, requiring her to get an emergency surgery. Little brat's excuse? She knew doing that would hurt mommy, but she, my sister, was getting so much attention from daddy since she got home. Attention she, little brat, deserves more. The worst part is that my sister and brother-in-law thought that was cute. SMH. The crazy part is that my older niece would have never gotten away with something like that, so I don't really get why they spoiled the younger one so much. I know she's my niece, but I just can't see past those behaviors and like her. She's 6 BTW. When my son decided in the grocery store parking lot that it would be fun to scream, "You're not my mommy. Where's my mommy? You're not my real mom." He had this evil smirk on his face as I panicked and tried to explain what could happen if someone heard that. He started yelling it louder. Years ago, my wife and I had a very heated argument. Our daughter overhears us and comes into the room. Just as things hit their peak, my wife rushes into the bathroom crying. I'm left sitting on the bed feeling low, listening to my wife sob on the other side of the door. Our daughter looks up at me with a smile and says mom is crying, and proceeds to laugh loud enough for mom to hear. And with that, I was in trouble for something entirely new. 3-year-old daughter deliberately screaming to wake up her 4-month-old sister for 5 hours during a long car ride. When our 13-year-old decided to steal $200 that was hidden in my desk 1 week before Christmas, he then spent it all in one day on candy and yelled at us for confiscating what was left of it. He also told us it was our fault for leaving money in the house. To confirm that he is a horrible person, he told his mum that he doesn't like seeing anyone else happy, which is why he broke his 1-year-old brother's things. Not the parent, but my mom told me that when she was pregnant with me, my half-brother tried to convince her to swallow a steak knife so that it would cut me up and she would have an abortion. Then when I was I think 7, he turned on the shower, put on a movie for me and my sister, and snuck out while he was supposed to be babysitting to go pick up his girlfriend in my dad's car, which he then wrecked in his adult years. Oh god no, I wish I could undo reading that. Let's leave this guy. Seriously though, fuck this guy. Jesus Christ. Not safe for feels man. This chilling conversation with my then 4.5-year-old daughter. Mommy, do you love me? Of course, my darling. I love you forever and always, no matter what. Even after I kill little brother's name. Sweet as pie smile on her face and serious look in her eye. At the time she had recently learned to tie knots, and I had already had to take her jump ropes away as I had found her with one tied around little brother's neck pretending he was a horsey. When my sons were 12 and 13, the older one stole $600 from my wife and I. He gave the younger one half. When they were caught and everything was said and done, the younger son told us that we didn't have the right to take his money from him because he didn't steal it. That was when I knew. Now ages 19 and 20, the older son has long grown out of it. The younger one has never stopped stealing and lying. Before moving out he told me that he has always resented me for locking things up and, I'm quoting him here, not letting me take whatever I want from you. It amazes me because we raised all 4 of our kids the same way and the other 2 have always been good kids and kind-hearted. Oh well. I have 2 sons. One is 11 and the other 7. The 7-year-old is special, highly intelligent and very social, but also does a lot of deep thinking. Early one Sunday morning he came up to me, out of the blue, and said, "Dad, how do ducks work?" I was all how to what? What? Ducks? Hull in a half sleep state. Before I could work out what he wanted to know he said, "I guess if I open one up, I'll find out," and walked away. Honestly spent a good hour looking for ducks and watched him carefully when he went near the kitchen utensils. Had a neighborhood kid babysitting for my little ones after school. She had some other kids over who got into the liquor cabinet. We told her divorce mom, who very indignantly told us we were lying. About a month later her dad comes to the house with a bottle of Kurswasser, alcohol used for cooking fondue, a couple cheap gold necklaces from my wife, a spare key to our house and an old checkbook from a closed bank account. He apologized profusely, and I remember him saying, "I never thought my kid would be the bad kid in the neighborhood." It was painful to see. When my son was 13 or 14, we were chatting about how as kids get older and parents become elderly, often the kids become a caregiver to some degree to the parent. My son offhandedly remarked that he'd be looking for the cheapest nursing home at which to park me. Skinflint bastard. Okay, this is not my kid, but my mom found out she was raising an a-hole when we were out baby clothes shopping with my pregnant aunt, whose first baby had died a few days after birth a year or two earlier, and my brother says, "What are you buying it clothes for when you don't even know it's going to live?" My 3-year-old was given a small Fisher-Price trampoline for his birthday. It's like 3 feet in diameter. A few months later, we got invited to take him to Sky Zone, which is a giant indoor warehouse that is wall-to-wall trampolines. It's awesome. So my wife turns to my son and says, "Hey buddy, do you want to go to the trampoline place?" Without missing a beat, my kid rolls his eyes at her, jerks his thumb towards the Fisher-Price one, and says, in the most condescending tone a 3-year-old could muster, "I have one." When she tried to strangle her sister and a couple weeks later lied to the school about her being abused, leading to a full-blown investigation. Later they discovered from her friends that she lied. While packing her things we discovered that she had been stealing opiates and alcohol. She can't live with us anymore to protect her younger sister. My brother-in-law is a monster. He used to be so sweet, but over the last 2 years he has stolen 4 cars. He has been brought home by the cops 3 to 4 times. Once he stole $100 from my mother-in-law. She called him and asked where it was. He claimed he didn't know. He butt dialed her right after, and she clearly heard him bragging to his friends that he had stolen the money and that she was so dumb for believing him. The list goes on. These people are the most beautiful, humble people I have ever met. I don't understand how this boy came to be. My 6-year-old has always had weird interests. She asked me to show her pictures of what's in our bodies. I showed her diagrams on Google, and she said, "No, I mean inside of a real body, like a dead person." I showed her some random picture of an arm surgery, and she was begging for more. Also, she always asks me to stop so she can look at dead animals on the road. When my childhood dog died, she tried to sneak and look inside the bag while I was bawling. We are really pushing for the medical field and not a serial killer field. Edit. I feel as though I need to add this to the original comment. She has never shown any signs of aggression or desire to hurt people/animals. She is a very sweet child and doesn't even like it when we kill bugs or cut down the weeds in our yard. She shows respect for life, but is definitely interested in bodies. I'm not sure she understands what death is or what it means yet. I'm a science teacher and my wife is a nurse, so we definitely encourage her interest in science. Teaching my kid the value of money. We'd give her tuck shop/snack money in the day and we later found out she was just giving it away, not understanding the value of money at all. A few long deep conversations where I hate to admit I became a capitalist poster boy later, and she starts to understand that money has a value, how hard it can be to get and that it's even harder to keep. Fast forward a few weeks later, we run out of milk and I only have my card and no cash on me, plus our local shop will only now accept card purchases over £10. So I figure I'll ask my darling angel little girl if I can borrow £1 for milk and put it back tomorrow. No, you can't have my money, daddy. I earned it, and you need to learn responsibility. That money doesn't just fall from the sky and you can't just go around giving everything away, as pretty soon you'll have nothing. I suck at parenting. Wife's mother died unexpectedly. No disease or anything. My wife was, of course, devastated. The day after, I wake up to hear my wife on the couch, just bawling her eyes out. I walk out to comfort her. Our 10-year-old daughter stops me in the hall. "Why is mom crying so much?" "Well, her mother just died, but that was yesterday." I was picking my son up from daycare the other day. I've always known he's a bit of a flirt, but I got to see it in full action. One of his teachers came to give him a hug, and he brushed her off at first then gave her such a big hug. After she worked for it a bit, she was all happy about getting her hug, and escalated it into swinging him around and tickling him. He was going for just that though, I could tell. He knew exactly how to get what he wanted from her. He's 3. I was watching and just realizing this kid knows he's cute, likes attention from girls, and he isn't afraid to use his looks to get it. I'm in trouble when he hits his teen years. If you enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing.